Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Capricorn. So, Capricorn, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So, Capricorn, your cards today seem to be giving me the message that you are uncertain or unsure of how to really explain the things that you know. Because to you, it seems like there are things that are very clear in your mind, but I feel like there is, maybe we're talking about communication problems with somebody that you would like to work with. And by work, I don't mean necessarily professional work, just go along, right? It's like, do live life perhaps together in a very agreeable manner, in a very constructive way. So you seem to have a little bit of a frustration, really, Capricorn, in terms of how, when you try to speak and when you try to explain the things that you know for certain to the other or to the others, it doesn't make sense. It's like it feels like a different language. And there is this mismatch in a sense of the things that you're trying to say and how the other or the others are interpreting, because I feel like your intentions are really good. It's like it's actually very sacred the way that it's coming here, but it's like you're reconvening, to be honest, because you are thinking about how you are going to give it another try, but thinking about the proper words or the proper way to say it, not to leave any chance for this to be misunderstood or for this to be misinterpreted. Because I see here that you're trying to work together, right? It's like have an agreement. It's like establish, um, a comfortable but also constructive life for you and this other, or maybe others. But for you, there's a purpose in that. It's not just for the sake of having a comfortable life, right? With this one, um, it's more than just the routine. It's more than just the workplace. It's for the purpose of something sacred, which for you is sacred. And that's the thing. It's like when you try to express this as a sacred thing, the other or the others, they just don't get it, or they don't seem to be getting until this moment. And it's like you have to go around back to the beginning, right? It's like this is how I'm seeing your reading today. It's like you're giving it another shot, you're giving it another try. So we're beginning with the Four of Swords, which, very funny, this is the exact same card that opened the Sagittarius reading yesterday. And so at first I was like, why is this coming a second time? Does also Capricorn need a timeout? And it wasn't that, I don't feel like you are tired. I don't feel like you're exhausted, as I saw for Sagittarius yesterday. But really what I was seeing with this card was like this pause, right? It's almost like, that moment when your mind is just blank. You're not thinking anything. And it's almost like this is good, although there is a little bit of a frustration, as I said, in this blank moment, in this pause where perhaps you don't know how to proceed forward, especially with your words. And it's interesting because I'm just being reminded how Mercury is finishing its retrograde through Capricorn, right? As I'm recording this. So I feel like there could be something of like this rethinking about your communication skills, or how you are specifically communicating to somebody. Because here, the Emperor, which was the card that was in the Sagittarius extended yesterday, was talking about a higher up, like the boss of the boss of the boss. But Sagittarius being granted, in a sense, or being recognized, and being given the chance to talk to the higher up of the higher up of the higher up. For you, Capricorn, there is a completely different message in regards to this Emperor and in relation to this Four of Swords, because here is the pause. Here is this blank slate moment in your brain where it's almost like you're strategizing. It's like you're preparing to give this another pitch, right? And to present this to this Emperor. So the Emperor is the one that you're approaching. The Emperor is the one that I feel like you are trying to establish like this relationship, this constructive relationship, because what you want from this Emperor with the Ace of Wands coming next is to protect something sacred. And I hope that I find the right words to express what I'm saying and what I'm seeing, because you know, sometimes this Ace of Wands comes as a tree, and here this tree is coming through as your own tree, your family tree. Perhaps this is, you know, your partner, or perhaps this is your father, or you know, somebody that has maybe the authority over the family tree. I hope this makes sense. But the way that they perceive this is very different than you perceive it. They are very guarded. This card yesterday came through as chains, as but you know, it's almost like the symbolic chains on the outside of an official building, right? So it's almost like it's just to pass along the message of, you know, do not cross this. This is a private territory or something like that. So, but really, it's like, you know, whoever is passing through in front of that building could easily pass over this chain. It's not, you know, high security. It's just like this warning in a sense. And so I feel like there is a little bit of guardedness today in this Emperor. But the way that you, Capricorn, are seeing the role of the Emperor in regards of this tree, right, the family tree, is that if he had this belief or he had this understanding, maybe that you have, and it's interesting because I'm now, you know, questioning if you're trying to impose your way of seeing things to the Emperor and not being, you know, understanding yourself of the point of view that this one has. You see what I mean? But it's not a question of who's right and who's wrong, because at the end of the day, I feel like what you want really from this Emperor is to work together, right? Is to be constructive. So the Three of Pentacles coming next. Your way of seeing this tree, this family tree, this the sacred private territory that you see, it's like you see how alive it is, right? You see how dynamic it is. The way that this one is trying to protect with the chains, it's almost like always guarding, always alert, always defensive, always protective. You see the organic growth. It's like you see the organic movement in this tree. Therefore, there is no need for you to chain. It's like you are trying to unchain this. But the way that you're explaining this to the Emperor, which you feel like you're trying to explain it in a way that is very constructive for all involved, right? So perhaps if we are talking about your family, Capricorn, and your partner, in a sense, has a different approach, right? What you want, really, with the Three of Pentacles is to, it's almost like blend your points of view so that what you see and what they see becomes something constructive. It's like working together for the good of all, or for, the highest good of the entire family, not just you and not just them. I feel like in a sense there is a little bit of a disagreement in terms of the stance of this one. It's like perhaps, and that's maybe why you're thinking a lot before you approach them, because maybe they are even defensive in regards to the things that you say already. You see what I mean? It's like maybe they have created this idea that they are the ones who need to protect the family. And so it really doesn't matter what you say or how you see the construction of this family, or like the development or the establishment of this family. It seems like it's like you recognize and you respect and perhaps even admire their desire to protect. It's just that their approach seems to be very not restricting, but in a sense it is. It's like you see how they are keeping everything under their wings, right? And it's almost like you're offering to help, maybe you're offering to participate more in the family or in the protection of this family. And it's almost like they're saying, no, but I have to do this on my own. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's like they think that that's their role, so it's like it's not your place, Capricorn. Maybe that's the misunderstanding. But your intention, as I said, it seems to be like a very sacred, because there is like this desire to co-create something that is for the good of all, right? So that it benefits all, but also protects. It's like, but protecting in an organic way rather than in, chaining everything up, or, keeping all under their wings. So here, the first row of cards, Capricorn, seems to be it's like this is all you thinking. I feel like that's the thing. It's like, because it started with the Four of Swords, it's like you're rethinking. So maybe this conversation had occurred already, and you're now thinking, okay, so now that I see their vision, now that I see how they're thinking about this and how differently I think about this, but how good would it be if we were to put the things that we believe, or the approaches that we have together? Because, okay, so this strategizing, this rethinking, this is all in your head. This is not an open conversation. It doesn't seem, because I feel like you've tried and it wasn't successful, because here you're showing up as the Page of Wands. So in a sense, this Page of Wands is the seed of the tree, meaning you see yourself as part of the family, or it's like maybe you are the kid, right? Maybe you are the one who is, maybe this emperor is your father or your mother, or some authority in your family that wants to protect all of the members of the family. But being part of the family, the way that I'm seeing it visually, right, is like that the movie Avatar, right, with the sacred tree from which every being originates, and it goes back to when they die, right? So and the seeds of the sacred tree, it's like how you are one of these seeds. So in a sense, but with the Queen of Swords coming afterwards, for you, this type of thinking, this type of seeing yourself, Capricorn, as a seed of the family, a seed of this tree, is very logical. The moment that you try to express this, especially with words, that's the trouble, it seems. The Three of Swords coming afterwards, it's like this attempt to express your intention to collaborate, to be more participant, to be more engaged in, taking care of the family, or, just being part of the tribe or the group, or, it doesn't need to be family. It's just because This was coming through as family tree. But, you know, it could be not necessarily like your genealogical tree, but it could be like, you know, an extended family, or, um, friends could also be family. So take it how it resonates with you. But Capricorn, your intention is to work with them, to be part of this. It's like you want to be one of the construction blocks. You want to add what you see, and what you see seems to be very sacred. You're trying to communicate some sort of very subjective perception. Very, it's like this feeling based type of synergy with the tree, right? Which is, perhaps is very spiritual, right? It's like but you don't have the right words. It's like the moment that you try to communicate what you were expecting to be understood as something very constructive, it's actually taken as aggression, or taken as just the language that you're speaking, they're not understanding. It's like they, maybe because they're too set in their own ways, it's like you see they're locked. Maybe they themselves are locked in the chains that they have created to protect the entire family. Maybe they are the ones who, instead of being the one who, claims the authority and places the warning signs, in a sense, around the house, around the household, around the people, it's actually around themselves. And maybe they are protective with everyone else because they are extremely protective of themselves. So in a sense, whatever comes from you, or I want to say from anyone else really, they seem like they have to, it's almost like strengthen the defenses, right? Strengthen the chains and make sure that their thinking is understood, is very clear for you, which you seem to have everything clear in your mind, Capricorn. The way that you express that, or at least the way that you are being, it's like the way that they are stopping to listen to you, or maybe they're not even stopping. It's like maybe they don't want to listen to what you're saying. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, because I'm not picking up on any type of reluctant movement from this one. It's not about them not wanting to listen to you. It's just that they are claiming this role of being, it's like they're in control of this, right? They need to be in control of this. So whatever you say, it's not going to be understood as the Three of Pentacles. It seems like it's always going to be understood as a word of aggression. You're provoking them, you are poking on, on their wounds, or you are saying that they're not doing their job well. It seems like, criticism, or whatever it is, right? So to use something that makes sense, because you feel like you're part of the family. So in a sense, the way that things are so clear in your mind, it's like you wish you could express that as clearly as you're seeing in your mind's eye. But I feel like that's the reason why you are reconvening, you are regrouping, you are rethinking with the Four of Swords, because I feel like you tried this once, or maybe even, 3 times, and it didn't go your way. So now it's like you're entering this silent mode, this very strategic thinking mind with the Four of Swords, to see how you could approach this in another way, so that they are a little bit more open. So, but there's this thing also about, maybe if this happened many times in that way where you were not understood, you feel like perhaps maybe there's something wrong with your communication skill. Like maybe you are, taking this time off so that you can, you know, maybe you really rethink your communication in general, not just with this one. But the thing about what this one, the conversation that you often have, or how it often ends up, you know, when you're talking to this one, it's like there is this preconceived idea that it will always end the same way, right? You not understood by them, or them, you know, needing to make sure that they are that they have the last word, or that they are the authority in the house, however that fits for you, Capricorn. But I feel like you want to try this again. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't be thinking about it. You wouldn't be thinking about how to approach this in a way that is not misunderstood. And I feel like saying to you, Capricorn, even if you are thinking a lot, even if you are in this silence mode where you are, it's like there's a lot going in your mind, but it's almost like you're rearranging your thoughts so that things work out in a way that is constructive instead of destructive, right? Because that's the difference between the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So it's almost like you're trying to figure out a way so that your message doesn't come out in a distorted way, or the way that you are interpreted is not distorted, right? So I feel like, you know, perhaps you're putting a lot in yourself that is you know, making you feel not defeated, but in a sense, not as clearly, or, you know, questioning your clarity, questioning the truth that you carry, or the truth that you see, because for some reason, it's like you're not being able to communicate that in a way that you would like to be received by this other. So I feel like you know, at some point, it seems like you will approach them again, or you will try this again. Um, but I don't know. I feel like maybe you'll know the words, even if you're not thinking about them. And maybe that's the best approach, right? To go from this instead of this. It's like be very spontaneous, be very caring about this, instead of maybe using, you know, proper words, or being polite, or being, and it's not that you're not going to be polite, but it's like maybe you want so badly to pass on this message that you're forgetting why you think that way, right? So maybe that could be another way of seeing this, and how maybe if you try this one more time, maybe they will see it a different way. But I feel like saying it's not on you to control how they're going to interpret, right? This is an important thing also. So Capricorn, I am going to pull more cards for you, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.